for the
don't.
second YouTube stream.
Yep. So.
Is Chameleon coming back on, or are we getting somebody else to do one of the roles?
I think Chameleon had to leave really early, so we might have lost them.
Oh shit, Light, come on, you can.
Oh, we got Chameleon.
Okay. Actually, Chameleon. Yay, okay. Yo. No. That's my favorite thing to do. Like, give me a sec. No. Oh. It's so sad. It's so funny just how sad people's voice get. Like, can you give me a second? No. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Got it. I'm here for you.
All right, we are 100% active. Game on. Let me go grab my iPad, which is now. Gotta grab my iPad, which is now charged again. Start charging my phone. I have to switch devices.
So we're reading SCP-3864. Yeah. Once Sherm gets back, I will assign parts for the logs.
I want to call dibs on subject B.
What, Lenny? Or Terry?
Terry.
The phone screen is on.
You want to be Terry?
Yes.
Okay. Was Gavir?
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Who do I want to see in love with Gavir?
You love me.
All right. You know what? Hey, Sherm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Gavir has already asked to be given the role of Subject B in the logs. I would appreciate if you took the part of Subject A so that you two can kiss.
I'll be right back.
Aw, yay! There's more love.
Now you guys can kiss. Give a big old kiss.
Smoochy smooch 'em.
Chameleon, would you like to take on the role of my namesake, the interviewer?
What's stopping
All
you
right,
from
so
being yourself?
I thought I was going to read the rest of the document.
Well, I would love to.
Yeah, that's true.
3864. All right, so a little backstory on SCP-3864. First of all, the images in the article, if you look at them closely,
I'm just getting my
and then you look at my face, you can tell that they are, in fact, my face. Yeah, there we go, right there. Because when I first joined the wiki of like, oh gosh, 856 days ago, I read the images policy and like shit myself in fear because I was like, I don't want to get my article taken down. That'd be scary. So I was just like, it'll be easier to just make the picture. So I did and spent a lot of time trying to find an oil painting filter. So you can see the name of my shitty high school on my shirt in the first image. So I doxed myself in SCP-3864.
Oh, I went to a shitty high school too.
Fantastic work.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready?
Here, you know what? Just for that,
Ready.
We all good to go.
you get another
All right.
upvote right there.
All right, here we go. SCP-3864, Object Class
I'm
Safe.
very active right now,
Special
so I'm
containment
sorry.
procedures. SCP-3864 is to be hung on a wall in a standard containment chamber. Outside of scheduled tests, SCP-3864 is to be covered with a thick black cloth at all times. Should SCP-3864 grow too large to be completely covered by this cloth, D-Class personnel are to be dispatched immediately with an appropriately sized replacement. SCP-3864's containment chamber is to be kept well lit and monitored via an infrared camera to ensure that it remains completely covered at all times. A decibel meter is to be placed no less than 15 centimeters from SCP-3864's surface. Any change should be reported to the researcher in charge, which is currently me at the time of this writing. Entry into SCP-3864's chamber requires level 3 clearance. All personnel are required to wear infrared goggles while in SCP-3864's. You with me so far? Oil painting inside of SCP is a human and more than 864. Of the third arm is in 3864 for this time appear 864-64 pigment CP3 or slowing 3864-1. The conscious to be transferred into SC for that. No record being observed. Attempts left side of 36 location. It is unclear whether simply CT in low neighborhood. All right. Action.
The interview logs. Give here. There you go.
Yeah. By the way, this is probably something I should mention. I'm not actually drinking anything alcoholic, even though. Yeah, I wish I had Pony Marta. For those of you who don't know, I am of Colombian descent, so it's the only Marta I can get here. All right, so I'll be the. Do I read the foreword? All right. Subject A, D3976. Subject B, SCP-3864-1, formerly D3977. Interviewer, Dr. Taylor. You. Yeah. Forward. Subject B has only recently appeared in SCP-3864. Subject A and Subject B are former cellmates. Subject A has been instructed to attempt contact with SCP subject with with subject B, a high gain microphone has been placed in front of SCP-3864. Interviewer is speaking to subject A through an earpiece. Begin. Please approach SCP-3864.
Terry?
Oh,
What? I can't understand what he's saying.
Then get closer to it.
Terry, are you there?
oh.
I can't understand him. The damn veil is muffling his voice.
You may remove the cloth from SCP-3864. Make sure your goggles are on.
Jesus, finally! I can't breathe behind that thing.
Terry?
Well, who else would it be, dipshit?
Christ, I didn't think I'd hear from you again.
Is it the fact that I'm made of paint? It's the fact that I'm made of paint, isn't it?
Uh-oh. Ask it if it knows what happened.
Does that mean you know what happened?
If you mean become part of a painting, yeah, I know what happened.
Why isn't this fact alarming to it? Ask it that.
You seem rather calm about it, you know.
Lenny, in all honesty, if I had to choose between possible Keter testing and being stuck inside a damn painting, I'm fine where I am. It's not that bad in here. I do kind of miss burgers, though.
Burgers?
I would kill for a bacon cheeseburger right now.
Ask it if it needs to eat to survive.
Why? Are you hungry?
Not really. I just love fucking cheeseburgers, man. You know that.
Yeah, especially after you almost got killed after you mouthed off that guard who wanted yours.
No one messes with my fucking burger land. No one.
I wouldn't get between you and your burger if someone were pointing a gun to my head and telling me to.
See, you know how to keep yourself safe then. Oh, man. Do you remember that time Doug tried to bribe a guard to get out of Keter duty?
Yeah, oh, man, he was so close, too. Too bad the guy's supervisor came along.
Yeah, has that guy been back?
Who, the guard? No, my guess is that he got fired or terminated or some shit.
Ah, I got no pity for him. Bastards are always shoving their guns in our faces. Why should I give a fuck about him?
My sentiments exactly.
If only Kelly hadn't actually gotten away with bribing his way out.
Hey, something great came out of that, didn't it?
Hold on. Sorry, my page closed here.
Oh, no.
Ask if it's comfortable where it is.
Listen, Terry, you're not in pain in anything, right? You're okay?
I mean, I'm comfortable enough. I'm just lonely, I guess. No one's here with me, and most of the time, that fucking cloth is covering my face.
I'm sorry, man. I miss you, for what it's worth.
I miss you too.
I'm sorry you're stuck in there, Terry.
Oh, it's not your fault, Len. My goggles malfunctioned. No one could have called it.
Still,
Well, maybe.
maybe what?
Maybe you could come in with me?
Get out. Get out of the containment chamber now.
Terry, I miss you, man, but I can't.
Well, why not? I'm so alone, Len.
Get him out of there. And the 60 day allow his cell to rest. Further testing authorized by redacted. I actually do need to leave, so being on, and I wish you luck. Yeah. You can find me on
I'm not popular.
3 over here. So, yeah. So, the SCP Wiki, you can see my art page. I don't particularly write any, so I really. I'm not.
Go light. Go light.
I am going.
Thank you.
to head out. Have a great day.
If no one else pops it, I'll take the role of the interviewer for now. Then.
I'm ready.
Ready to keep
I'm
going.
having fun as
All right.
Terry.
Ready to keep going? You gave him the best
Lenny,
voice.
Alabama.
I love it. Interview.
Oh.
52417. Subject A, D3976. Subject B, SCP-3864-1, formerly D3977. Me. Forward. Subject A has been instructed to reestablish their piece.
Lenny!
SCP-3864
You're
has
back!
already been uncovered.
You can see me?
Well, I may be in a painting, but whoever painted me was kind enough to give me eyes.
Is
Someone painted you?
3864?
What?
You said whoever painted you gave you eyes.
It was a joke, idiot.
Oh.
Ask it if time is passing. We want to know how time
what have
passes
you been
in
doing the
the
last
painting's
couple
world.
days? Eating cheeseburgers?
Oh, yeah, because I have access to... Wait, last couple of days? How fucking long have I been in here?
About a week, man.
A week? Jesus.
How could you not know?
I don't know. I mean, the sun never goes down, at least not that I can see. I mean, there's only 2 windows.
Can't you go outside?
There's no door. It's like I can see outside, I can see that there's a whole world, but this room is all I'm able to be in.
Have you tried breaking out a window or something? Getting out?
Either I'm really weak or everything is sort of like bolted down or something. I can't lift any of the furniture. And I tried ramming the walls and stuff with my body, but nothing. That's not even the weirdest part, Len.
Get it to elaborate.
Then?
I know they've said I'm in a painting, but everything here looks real until I look outside the window. Outside is...
Outside is what?
Well, it's paint. Looks like it's painted on a backdrop. Do you remember that night?
Which night? There are a lot of them.
One a couple months ago. You were filling in for Kelly when he got out of keter duty.
Oh, that night.
After that day of testing, I was just happy to be alive.
Terry.
And after you almost got hurt,
Terry.
I felt things, Len. I've never felt like that before.
I did too.
Lenny,
Don't say it, Terry.
I want to say it, Len.
Don't say it, Terry. You know I do too, but...
But what?
You're in a damn painting, Terry. You're a piece of art, and I'm here.
I may be in a painting, but I still have feelings. I love you, Lenny.
Terry.
And log, at this point, subject A was showing clear signs of distress. Interview was ended by the interviewer. Subject A was allowed to return to his cell and rest. Further testing authorized by redacted. Log 64-1, formerly known as D3977, was attempted. Upon entering, they convinced D3976 to 76 1. Further contact between 3864-1 and any persons to have been close to them is prohibited by order of redacted. Visual exposure of SCP-3864 at the same time. Outcome. D3975 was the only subject to appear as 3864-1. Communication with 3864-1 was continuous for approximately 6 minutes before it was able to convince Dr. Blank, or Dr. Redacted, to remove his goggles. Dr. Redacted remains the current SCP-3864-1 instance at this time. Conclusion. 3864 is able to loosely further testing pending 05 approval. And the test log links to a tale based off of 38.
Oh boy.
The end.
Woo.
Lenny and Terry. Fuck.
Oh, that.
You know what? I think that's a worthwhile one for the organization currently being funded today.
It's well within the spirit.
Well within the spirit. We got
You know what's really funny? What's really funny about this article? I was like, when I first joined the wiki and I was writing this article, and I really wanted to be like, part of the community. I was like, I know, I'll write a wiki.
clearly don't read the wiki enough.
You know, didn't back then. I've kind of got to now. Now, but like,
Oh shit, we
I
got
thought I
Toad
was
King
some
and
ground-
Caught a Duck. What's up, fam?
Toad King and that's how you say it.
Caught a
Duck.
That's good.
On top
Sat
of duck. Got it. Nice. All right. Lesson for you guys to read the tales if you want to, but they're
Hello.
not required because they're not required reading to
Hey, Uranium, long
understand the
time no
article.
see.
Scared me. Hey, Eleanor.
Thank you so much. And
I
thank you for
have
bringing
the
that article to
request
us.
I had fun. I'm glad I could join you guys.
Toad
Thank you for having
See
me
you
on the
later,
stream.
friend.
Toad King
Goodbye.
says,
Yeah.
Toad King says he's going
Thank
to be
you,
doing a
Light.
giveaway for the live stream.
Oh,
Later.
shit.
Oh, really? What's the best link to stream? Right now, it is this one for Get Vocal, Pwa. And this one for the YouTubes.
The YouTube's
Wow.
the one where most of the people
I
are
just click
watching
this
it from.
button and I show up. Is that how?
Hi,
that works?
Rockney.
Hey, Rockney's here.
How are we doing?
Excellent. Good to see you, buddy.
I should get some water.
All right, since Rockney took a window, why don't we do 4024 by Rockney's request? Let's see. Let me pull that up.
It's the Gobi Desert.
It's a good one and probably appropriate since TSAT's around, since he had some entry into this.
Oh, yeah. I remember. This is
Fantastic.
It's kind of like the entire state of Massachusetts, and SCP is one of them. Take a real world location and make it one.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't you know Massachusetts doesn't exist?
I wouldn't know. I haven't read it.
Well, you know that you know that Wyoming isn't a real state. It's just an empty space, and the word Wyoming comes from the French for no state here.
Oh man.
That is a Garfield episode that very few people remember.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so let's
Actually,
see.
sorry to
How
bounce
is-
so quickly, but I'll probably need to take the dog out.
No worries. We're having a party, and you can come back to that party for the next 11 hours.
All right. See ya.
All right. Anyone want to take this one for a spin? 40-24? You want to hit this one, Gavir? Rockney, you want to hit yours?
Sure, I can do it. There
it
is
happen, man.
a few journal entries if you you want to switch off on those ones.
Sure.
And then there's some stuff towards the bottom that are quite not journal entries, and I can take the excerpts if that makes sense.
Let's see.
take
How
addendum.
about you take two? Yeah, let's do the split. Rockney will get us through addendum 1. I'll take over at addendum 2. And then who volunteered for addendum 3?
I was volunteering for addendum 2, but I can take 3.
Cool.
That works.
Well, or you can take 2 and I'll take 3. That's cool with me. That gives me a longer stretch. I feel good about this plan.
I like the dialogue in addendum 2
Then
because
it is yours.
Into madness.
Sure. I'll get started then. Item number SCP-4024. Object class Keter. Level 4 4024 classified. Special containment procedures. The area affected by SCP-4024 has been established as a no-entry zone. Its perimeter is monitored by a series of mobile outposts under the jurisdiction of Containment Area 43. These outposts are to move in accordance with the expansion of this perimeter. Personnel with Class C clearance and above are prohibited from making direct physical contact with SCP-4024. All personnel are to be reminded that voices and emotions experienced within the region are not real and should be ignored. Description: SCP-4024 is a saltwater spring located in the Gobi Desert and housed within a former Buddhist temple. When fully submerged within SCP-4024, objects and organisms undergo immediate displacement to an unknown location. Land in the immediate vicinity of SCP-4024 is characterized by severe desertification and the presence of dense fog. Despite its non-anomalous chemical composition, inhalation of SCP-4024 generated fog causes minor emotional distress and auditory hallucinations in sentient organisms. The current radius of the area affected by SCP-4024 as of 2018-12-26 is approximately 98 kilometers and is expanding at an indeterminable rate. As proximity to its central point increases, SCP-4024's anomalous effects also increase in magnitude. Addendum 4024.1 Test Series. Testing of the anomalous spatial displacement properties of SCP-4024's focal point commenced on 2018-07-30 under the supervision of Containment Area 43's Dr. Ganbatar Sakia and senior researcher Jonathan Halliman. Significant test results are noted below. Object: 1 Pentel brand automatic pencil containing 2 sticks of 0.5 millimeter lead. Status: irretrievable. Object was spatially displaced to an unknown location upon moment of full submersion. Object: 1 UV/CKY-19 model autonomous underwater drone. Status: irretrievable. In addition to the spatial displacement of the physical object, all video and audio transmissions were also lost at the full moment of full submersion. Object: 1 male domestic cat, tortoiseshell coat, right ear is torn. Status: irretrievable. Spatial displacement occurs in living subjects in addition to inanimate objects.
My turn. Addendum 4024.2 SCP-4024 TAC-1 instances. On 2018-10-24, the presumed death of senior researcher Jonathan Halleman and subsequent post-mortem investigation led to the discovery that direct contact with the liquid contents of 4024 results in recurring anomalous dreams, hereafter designated SCP-4024 TAC-1. Halleman allegedly began experiencing TAC-1 instances after accidental direct physical contact with the 4024 focal point during testing series 4024 TAC-01 on 2018-07-30, but negligently withheld this information from official Foundation documentation for personal gain. Extensive documentation of the SCP-4024 TAC-1 instances was discovered in Halleman's personal research journal, with key findings excerpted below. Night after night of bizarre dreams. I can't seem to control my wandering. It's like my feet are moving on their own. I've lost track of the number of hours that I've spent wading directionless through this strange technicolor ocean, lost in the fog. The endless chatter of nonsense is so loud I could barely hear myself think. The sensory overload makes my head hurt. Sometimes I see things that look like people, but they blink out of existence every time that they get too close to me, and they can't see me. I don't think they're sapient. I don't think they're even sentient. This is utterly fascinating, truly the opportunity of a lifetime. There's an incredible breakthrough here, and I'm going to get there first. And going on to 2018-08-30, I've never been more excited in my life. It's incredible. The warrior in full battle regalia crossing blades with an invisible foe atop the Statue of Liberty, their hair that becomes a spider and scuttles across the bright red roof of a Ferrari, and then becomes a leering man and slings himself into the driver's seat. The pregnant woman who twirls barefoot through rice stalks and washing machines over the surface of churning waters. She blows a kiss and it transforms into a white dove and flies away. It's so obvious. They're archetypes. The hero, the trickster, the mother. What else could they be? I'm jumping to conclusions here, but I know that I'm right. This is incredible. A dream come true. What academic mind wouldn't be thrilled to find themselves here at the seat of human consciousness? Researcher Hellman was placed on indefinite medical leave on 2018-09-11 due to his erratic behavior and rapidly declining mental health, at the time believed to be a result of his pre-existing depressive tendencies. On 2018-10-22, researcher Hellman's application to return from medical leave was approved. His final recorded entry is excerpted below. 2018-10-21. Hello, kitty cat. You're a sight for sore eyes. A trick that my subconsciousness is playing on me, or irrefutable proof of my hypothesis? One male domestic cat, Felis sylvestris catus, with a tortoise-shell coat and a torn right ear. I watched you disappear beneath the salty water of that accursed spring, and now here you are, swimming like a fish through the fog in my dreams, my lighthouse in the shape of a cat. I finally understand. It's a gate. I know I'm right, but I can't be sure. It's a gate that's been leaking all this time, dripping an endless stream of sorrows from our psyche into reality. What happens if I go through it? The curiosity is killing me. A chance to stand within the embodiment of imagination, of the human mind. I have to go through and see for myself. Could I truly call myself a scientist if I didn't? This is my leap of faith. On 2018-10-24, senior researcher Jonathan Hallman entered the 4024 zone without authorization and submerged himself within 4024. A week's worth of food supplies were later discovered missing from Containment Area 43's storage. Researcher Halleman is considered irretrievable and presumed dead.
Addendum 4024-3. Information breach potential. During a routine psychological evaluation on December 17, 2018, Dr. Ganbatar Sakya reported unusual dreams featuring the deceased researcher Halliman. A subsequent investigation into the matter revealed that Redacted Foundation-affiliated personnel worldwide had dreamed of a male matching researcher Halliman's physical and personal characteristics between October and December 2018. On December 22nd, 2018, the short story Spy on the Wall, published in a Ukrainian literary magazine on August 4th, 2018, by Oleksandra Olnyk, was brought to Foundation attention. The work described the precise Foundation-specific aquatic drone used in testing Series 4024-01, including its name and a number of its internal functions. Olnyk had no prior knowledge of the Foundation. The relevant section is excerpted below. Blackjack knelt tensely by the side of the dock, watching the remote-operated undersea vehicle sink beneath the waves. The mob could be upon him at any moment, but he couldn't stop now. The mission was too important, and the UVCQI-19 was their only hope. Subsequent Foundation investigations additionally discovered redacted number pieces of media worldwide featuring Jonathan Halliman, all published either on or after. I'm so bad at dates that aren't standard American fare. Grr. October 24th, 2018. These include a Chinese art house movie, a sculpture collection, and a series of British children's books. The following is excerpted from Stopping for a Spell, Hemlock Magician Book 4, by Whitney Blake, page 157. Go now, my apprentice! Wizard Halliman shuddered. Go now, my apprentice! Wizard Halliman shuddered. The poisonous green crystals were rapidly encasing his torso, but his dark eyes shone fever-bright with triumph. You must be my voice. Run as fast as your legs can carry you. You must deliver my message to... But what about you? Cried Elizabeth. I can't just leave you here. It does not matter, croaked the old wizard. Our mission is more important. You must find Sullivan Cornelius Pendragon of the 43rd chamber, and you must tell him... Halliman broke with a wheeze. At his feet, his familiar mewed sadly. The tortoise tomcat pawed desperately at its master's crystalline prison. But it could not slow down the relentless encroach of the dark elves' terrible curse. Tell him what? Elizabeth wiped desperately at her face, trying to hold back her tears. Tell him what we discovered, Halliman wheezed. Tell him about the gate, and the way that we crossed through to another realm. Tell him that I was right all along. Swear it, Elizabeth! I swear! Whispered... Damn it. I swear, whispered Elizabeth, but it was too late. The crystals had reached Halliman's face, and he was lost to the world. As of December 26, 2018, all items used in submersion testing with SCP-404 must be submitted for approval by the Director of Containment Area 43, due to the potential for further information security breaches.
Fantastic.
I need more drama in my life.
I just wonder where the pencil went.
Kay is...
God, where did the pencil went?
Is just an amazing author. I'm saying that a lot because we're covering a lot of amazing authors, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Key does some amazing character work, and this is very evident of that as well.
I like how through the various addendums that we're able to infer what the SCP's true nature is, rather than the Foundation description. Because it sounds like it transports you to the theoretical noosphere where human dreams are located in.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the collective subconscious of the human psyche.
Looking for our next article, by the way, Light, you requested 701, Document from Marianas Trench, and 184. Do you have a preference of those three? Ooh. 701. Let's do it. Class, turn in your textbook to page 701.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that
shout
guy.
out to Volgan for the picture.
I remember when Volgan was chopping that picture.
It definitely looks a lot better than than when I first saw it. Because it looked obviously 3D rendered, like, in the early stages of this photo.
Wait, that was 3D rendered? I thought this was cosplay.
This might be cosplay. I don't know, but I do remember him shopping it around a little bit and like seeing an early version of it, and it looked pretty obviously 3D rendered. So I don't know if he did get a cosplay of it or what's going on.
My original problem with this picture was that it didn't look candid, where the other one did. This one looks like, oh hey, he's just posing for a photo.
Yeah, right.
This is the ambassador of Alagata, right?
I don't know.
So,
It's been a long minute since I've read this.
All right, let's see. Length, it's not that long, actually.
Oh god, there's so many black boxes.
There are so many redactions. All right, looking at this, I think might not be worth even splitting it up. It's not that bad. Anyone in particular want to take this one?
I could take the description reading. It seems a properly Halloween-y Euclid.
Well, how about you go through item number to special containment, or how about... All right, so I'm cutting this up into...
There is some additional documentation associated with it if we were getting into it. Looks like
that is what I'm seeing. Like, I was looking at a couple links here.
There's a plot summary of the play itself, and there's an incident report.
You know...
It has a whole timetable of the event. And then there's
incident report,
plot summary, yeah.
Document... You know, that's for... Yeah, I think that would make, like, if we did those three, it'd be a pretty solid read. Oh, God. What is this fourth one? Oh, that's the incident report again. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, does it just link to the incident report twice? It does.
Yeah. I was afraid that was the third one. Okay, so, yeah, do you want to do all three? Knock it out. We got the time. We're not going anywhere, guys.
Yeah. I'm probably
sure not.
I'm probably gonna scooch for a while after this part. Get some food. Come back later in the evening, possibly. So once we
Well,
get
how
this
about
skip
you
out of
take
the
the first document, and I will microwave my food during that.
You mean the main document? Yeah.
Yeah, take the main document, and then I'll either join in for incident report or document SO1. So many numbers.
Gotcha.
But start us off. Kick us off since you're on your way out soon.
All right. SCP-701. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. All materials related to 701 are to be kept in a triple-locked archive at storage site blank. These items currently consist of the 2 currently extant copies of the 1640 Quarto, 27 copies of the 1965 trade paperback edition, 10 copies of a 1971 hardcover printing, 21 floppy diskettes consisting of data seized from raids on Expunged, 1 SVHS videocassette tape, and 1 steel knife of unknown origin. At no time are any of these items to be removed from the room. Access to the area is to be heavily monitored. Absolutely no personnel whatsoever is to be granted access to the archive without the express in-person permission of Doctors L, R, and J. Description: SCP-701, The Hanged King's Tragedy, is a Caroline-era revenge tragedy in 5 acts. Performances of the player associated with sudden psychotic and suicidal behavior among both observers and participants, as well as the manifestation of a mysterious figure classified as SCP-701 TAC-1. Historical estimates place the number of lives claimed by the play between blank and blank over the past 300 years. Performances of the Hanged King tragedy do not always end with an outbreak. Of the blank recorded investigations, only blank 36.7% have ended in SCP-701 events. According to historical records and investigations, these outbreaks generally follow the same pattern, 1 to 2 weeks prior to event. During the dress rehearsal period, cast members will begin to spontaneously deviate from the published text of the play. Rather than improvisation or gaffes associated with going off script, said deviations will be both orderly and consistent, as if the actors were working off a new version of the script. The cast and production crew seem unaware of the change, and if it is brought to their attention, will state that the play has run that way from the beginning, 2 to 3 hours prior to event. The outbreak generally occurs during opening night, or else at the production with the greatest planned attendance, generally falling within the first week after the play's opening, 1 to 2 hours before event. 701 TAC 1 begins to appear on stage in the final scene of Act 1, generally in the background or to the side of the main action. It may seem to enter or exit the stage area, but does not appear to ever enter the backstage or offstage area. It simply disappears when not on stage. The cast does not appear to notice or comment on 701 TAC 1, at least at first. The event. 701 TAC 1 appears fully on stage during the banquet scene in Act 5. Here it will be incorporated into the action of the play as the Hanged King. The cast will either murder each other or commit suicide, sometimes using items that seem to appear spontaneously on stage. Rioting breaks out in the audience, with viewers randomly attacking anyone in front of them, regardless of prior relationship. Following the event, if any of the audience members survive the initial outbreak, they may exit the performance space, in which case they will continue to engage in random or opportunistic violence. Victims will generally require sedation or restraint in this scenario. Normal personality will return roughly 24 hours after the event. Surviving victims will generally exhibit signs consistent with the traumatic experience. Some will have no recollection of the event. Others may be rendered permanently comatose or psychotic. For a typical case study of an outbreak, see Incident Report 701 TAC 19 blank blank TAC 1, an analysis of the events leading up to the last uncontained SCP-701 event in 19 blank, during a high school drama performance in bigger blank, smaller blank. For more information on the play's published text, see document SCP-701 TAC 1640 TAC B TAC 1. In short, 701 is a self-evolving mimetic virus transmitted through unknown means through the text of the play. Dr. L has theorized that 701 events may involve expunged. This hypothesis is consistent with a spike in smaller blank, bigger blank levels detected via satellite in the vicinity of the 19 blank incident, indicating expunged. Foundation agents are under standing orders to suppress any performance or publication of 701 whenever found or detected. Despite our best efforts to the contrary, however, the play remains freely available online, sometimes under different titles. All attempts to detect or isolate the origin of these copies have failed. Suppression of the play's publication has generally been successful, with most copies of a 1971 scholarly edition destroyed before distribution. Nonetheless, copies of the 1965 trade paperback turn up with some regularity in both college and high school libraries. Agents are to obtain or otherwise destroy these items whenever possible. The first known publication of the Hanged King's tragedy was a quarto dated back 1640. The play's author is not listed. The publisher, one William Cook, disappeared from the historical record soon thereafter. Strangely, the text does not appear in the stationer's register. The first known SCP-701 event on record recorded in 18 blank during a performance of the play in blank blank USA. Other significant events include the 19 blank performance at a small theater in blank blank blank. The 1964 performance at the University of blank blank blank. The 19 blank performance at the blank university, the first SCP-701 event successfully suppressed by the Foundation. The 19 blank performance by a student group in blank California, the 19 blank television adaptation by the blank Broadcasting Corporation, production successfully shut down by the Foundation before broadcast, and the 19 blank incident in blank, is that Ohio? Ohio, USA, designated SCP-701 19 blank TAC 1. Publication history. The original 1640 quarto, the 1733 folio edition, the 1813 Cambridge University Press edition, the 1965 trade paperback edition, and the 1971 hardcover edition. Agents should note that copies of the play have often been misfiled under different titles or spellings of the title. Furthermore, photocopies of the 1965 text have been found in circulation throughout college theater departments in the continental United States and in the United Kingdom. Given the high probability of expunged in my mind, I again recommend that SCP-701 be upgraded to Keter class. The SCP-701 mimetic virus may very well be the forefront of an invasion scenario. Furthermore, expunged. Dr. L. Denied. None of the current information we have on 701 indicates an XK class scenario. Until we have additional data, classification will remain at Euclid. Face facts, Doctor. The cat's been long out of the bag on this one, and in this line of business, we consider ourselves lucky if we lose only 100 or so people every 10 years. 05 blank. That's it.
So serious. So serious.
Stellar.
All right. Incident report or document first? Let's say incident report. Why not? That one's on top. Does anyone want to read this?
Yeah, I was on mute, but
welcome back.
I think if it's an incident report, it would logically follow that would be like the climax of the piece as a whole.
So
yeah,
reading
I'd
the
recommend-
document explains the plot of the play to allow incident report to make more sense because it mentions events detailed in the play.
Sweet. Okay. Good call. Good call, guys. Ah, yes.
Yeah,
that's
so angry, Eleanor.
Yeah, that's Max.
I love Max.
Max's baby. I love him too. He loves me, and by loves me, I mean he loves annoying me while I'm on the computer.
Typical.
Because you're not paying attention to him. That's very sad for him.
I'm going to free the slot now, go eat, have food, relax for a couple of hours, maybe take a nap.
Excellent.
Have fun, y'all. See you sometime between 5 and 10.
Catch you later.
Thanks for hanging
See you
out.
then.
Do you want me to take the incident report, or would you rather?
I will do the document because I'm letting my food cool, and then I will eat during the incident report.
Sounds good. I'll do the reading on the incident report then.
All right, so let's go with document SCP-701-1640-B1. The following is a summary of the published text of the Hanged King's Tragedy, class of SCP-701, prepared by Dr. Redacted from a copy of the 1640 Quarto in Foundation custody. Dramatis Personae. Gonzalo, King of Trunculo. Isabella, Queen of Trunculo, formerly the wife of Sforza, the murdered king, now married to Gonzalo. Antonio, a minor noble. Francisco, Antonio's servant. The Duke of Sortino. Alinda, daughter of the Duke. Petruchio, a noble lord allied with Gonzalo. Lodovico, a servant of Gonzalo. Cornari, a priest. Beatrice, a servant of the queen. A courtesan, a palace guardsman. The ambassador of Milan, the ambassador of Florence, the ambassador of Alagada. Setting. The play is set in the kingdom of Trinculo. Probably the spelling of I can say the wrong one, but I can't say the right one. Damn it. Trinacria. Probably a misspelling of Trinacria, another name for Sicily. In the capital city of Serco, another name for the city of Syracuse. As the play opens, Sforza, the king of Trinculo, has died, supposedly from natural causes while on a retreat from the court. The nobility of Trinculo gathers in the capital for the coronation of the new king, Sforza's younger brother Gonzalo, who is also married Sforza's queen, Isabella. Despite the text's references to contemporary Italian city-states, such as Florence and Milan, much of the play's setting is obviously pure fantasy. There were never any kings of Sicily comparable to Gonzalo and Sforza, and the capital of the historical kingdom of Sicily was Palermo and not Syracuse. The author may have chosen to move the play's events to Syracuse due to that city's historical association with tyranny. There is also no record of any country or place known by the name of Alagada, a mysterious but apparently powerful state that plays a significant role in the plot. It may be intended as a reference to one of the Muslim states or cities on the Mediterranean coast, such as Tunis or Algiers. Plot summary. The plot of The Hanged King's Tragedy bears a marked resemblance to many earlier plays of the same genre, including Shakespeare's Hamlet and Titus Andronicus. In fact, past investigations into SCP-701 events have noted that The Hanged King's Tragedy was often chosen for production as a less violent alternative to the two plays mentioned. The two murders in SCP-701 can be construed. The two murders in the SCP-701 text can be construed as occurring off stage, and the implication of cannibalism in Act 3 can easily be cut from the script. Act 1. The play opens during Gonzalo's coronation. Gonzalo opens with a toast to the assembled nobility, then departs the stage. Drunk on the wine, Isabella confesses to some of the courtiers left on stage that Sforza did not die in his sleep as reported. Instead, while on retreat in the countryside, Sforza was fed a sleeping potion by Isabella, then murdered by Gonzalo and his supporters. As a final show of disrespect, the conspirators hanged the king like a common criminal from a tree. Isabella goes on to proclaim that Antonio, a minor noble visiting the king's court for the first time, is actually in her and Sforza's son and the rightful heir to the throne. Isabella collapses and is taken off stage by her servants. Francisco asks Antonio if he believes the queen's story. Antonio makes light of the situation and they exit. Back in Antonio's rented lodgings, Francisco attempts to barter with a courtesan. Antonio enters the stage, clearly in shock. He reports that, while off stage, he saw the ghost of Sforza, who confirmed Antonio's parentage and the queen's description of his death. Act 2. Gonzalo, having learned of Isabella's confession, consults with his fellow conspirators. Lodovico confirms that at least 3 people witnessed the queen's breakdown: the Duke of Sortino, his daughter Alinda, and a priest named Cornari. Gonzalo immediately begins to plan the murder or capture of the 3 in order to cover up the truth. He orders Isabella to be locked up in a convent, with the story put out that the queen is mad. Isabella uncharacteristically, meekly accepts Gonzalo's judgment. The usurper then exits, having an appointment with the ambassador from Alagada. Back in their lodgings in the city, Francisco brings Antonio news of the queen's imprisonment. Together they begin to plan their revenge. Act 3. Petruchio and Gonzalo invite Sortino to dinner. They kill him and order the palace cooks to prepare the corpse as a stew. Gonzalo orders Alinda, who witnessed the murder, to be locked up in a convent. In the convent. Antonio fakes insanity in order to gain admittance into the convent. Warned of Antonio's coming, Isabella and her royal servant Beatrice prepare to murder him using a draught of poison. Antonio sees through their plan, and forces Isabella to drink the poison, killing her. Meanwhile, Francisco gets lost within the convent and winds up freeing Alinda from her cell by accident. Act 4. In the palace, Gonzalo reports to Lodovico that he has, in exchange for an unstated tribute, obtained a powerful and tasteless poison from the ambassador of Alagada. Gonzalo plans to poison the stew made from the Duke of Sortino's corpse and feed it to the court, thus ensuring the suppression of the truth. Lodovico leaves the stage to carry out the usurper's plan. Gonzalo then has a brief moment of conscience. In a soliloquy, he describes the regret he carries for his sins, but is nonetheless unable to deviate from the path he has set. Meanwhile, Francisco introduces Alinda to Antonio, all 3 having escaped the convent. Alinda describes her father's murder in grisly terms. Antonio promises to marry her and make her his queen as soon as his revenge is complete. He then leaves to obtain a blade, with which he plans to kill Gonzalo. There is a comedic interlude between a palace guard and Cornari, a buffoonish priest. At the end of the scene, Lodovico enters and bids Cornari to follow him. The priest is not seen on stage again. Act 5. The guests arrive at Gonzalo's banquet. Gonzalo once again offers a toast, this time to the ambassadors of the foreign nations who are present. The meal is served. However, before it can begin, Antonio enters, bearing a signed confession he obtained from Petruchio off stage, which includes the details of Sforza's murder and proof of Antonio's lineage. Gonzalo is deposed by the outraged courtiers. Rather than murder him, however, Antonio instead decides to spare the usurper and let him accept exile to a monastery. He then orders Francisco to start making plans for his marriage to Olinda. The play ends with a dance staged by the courtiers. SCP-701 events. The produced form of the play that occurs during SCP-701 events contains several deviations from the text published. For a typical example of these deviations, see Incident Report SCP-701 19 redacted-1. Click. Woo!
All right. I guess I'll just get started with the incident report. Incident report SCP-701-19 redacted-1. SCP involved SCP-701. Date redacted 19. Location expunged. Report prepared by Doctors R and J on the content of SCP-701-19 redacted-A. SCP-701-19 redacted-A is a 187mm by 103mm by 25mm SVHS video cassette tape recovered by investigators from the scene of the incident. A performance of SCP-701 at blank high school in big blank small blank. Tape was found in a destroyed consumer-grade camcorder, which was apparently recording the performance from a vantage point within the audience. It is the only surviving record of the event. Please see the SCP-701 archives for the full transcript of the recording. In order to compare the identified deviations during a SCP-701 event with the actual plot of the published text, see document SCP-701-1640-B-1. Beginning. The tape begins. 3 minutes, 10 seconds in, house lights go down. 5 minutes, 12 seconds, curtain rises. The play begins as published with Gonzalo's coronation speech. 10 minutes, 21 seconds. A possible sighting of SCP-701-1 during Isabella's ravings. An anomalous shadow not belonging to one of the cast members shows up along the black wall of the set. 10 minutes, 24 seconds. Shadow disappears. 23 minutes, 15 seconds in, first deviation from the text. Rather than the dialogue between Francisco and the courtesan, the curtain drops and comes back up on a bare stage. Antonio enters from stage right. 23 minutes, 24 seconds. First indirect sighting of SCP-701-1. The shadow of a figure seems to appear on the black wall from stage right. Antonio stops in place and acts surprised. The shadow disappears. Antonio begins a long soliloquy, confirming that he now believes Isabella's story. Dr. J notes that while this soliloquy is in the style of the rest of the play and seems to be accurate Caroline-era dialogue, Antonio's speech in this scene does not exist in the original text. 24 minutes, 12 seconds. Curtain drops. 24 minutes, 51 seconds. Curtain rises on Francisco and the courtesan. Antonio returns. The play continues as scripted. 31 minutes, 14 seconds. First direct sighting of SCP-701-1. It enters and stands at the edge of the stage left towards the end of Act 2, Scene 1. 32 minutes, 17 seconds. Gonzalo's dialogue concludes, as scripted, with the mention of an appointment with the ambassador from Aligata. He exits, stage left. SCP-701-1 seems to turn and follow him as the lights go down. 38 minutes, 13 seconds. Second sighting of SCP-701-1 during Act 3, Scene 1. It appears on the edge of stage right as Gonzalo and Petruccio murder Sortino. The scene concludes with Gonzalo ordering his cooks to prepare the corpse as a stew. Scripts recovered from the scene indicate that this section had been cut from rehearsal. 51 minutes, 11 seconds. Third sighting of SCP-701-1. Appears close to stage left as Antonio kills Isabella. 1 hour, 9 minutes, 12 seconds. Fourth sighting. SCP-701-1 enters with Gonzalo at the beginning of Act 4, Scene 1, and follows him throughout the scene. The scene also contains two key moments. First, Gonzalo seems to nod to SCP-701-1 when he mentions the ambassador of Aligata. This is the first time a cast member has seemed to indicate SCP-701-1's presence. Second, the scene ends with a deviation from the text. Whereas the scripted speech at the end of Act 4, Scene 1 ends with Gonzalo considering his own moral inequity, Gonzalo here seems to be more concerned that his tribute will be sufficient for the ambassador. The lights go down. 1 hour, 21:15 minutes passed. Fifth sighting of SCP-701-1 entered stage left at the end of Act 4, Scene 2, as Antonio leaves to secure a blade for his coup. Rather than exiting, Antonio stops in front of SCP-701-1, who hands him a long dagger. This is believed to be the first appearance of the item classified as SCP-701-19-B. Note that there is no mention of the item in the group list or the other records maintained by the production. SCP-701-1 and Antonio depart the stage together. 1 hour, 32 minutes, 41 seconds. Sixth sighting. SCP-701-1 appears on stage left as Cornari and Lodovico exit. 1 hour, 35 minutes, 10 seconds. The lights come up. Act 5, Scene 1. The banquet scene begins as scripted. 1 hour, 40 minutes, 52 seconds. Antonio enters, bearing a piece of parchment. Here the textual deviations begin in earnest. Rather than the parchment being Petruccio's confession as scripted, Antonio instead describes it as an invoice from the ambassador of Aligata, proving that Gonzalo owes more tribute than he intends to pay. 1 hour, 41 minutes, 42 seconds. SCP-701-1 enters at this point from stage right. The entire cast seems to perceive it. Gonzalo stands up, curses as an aside to the audience, and runs for stage left. The rest of the cast, including Alinda and Francisco, who enter from stage left, physically restrain Gonzalo and drag him back onto the stage. SCP-701-1, meanwhile, moves to the center of the stage, where it stands in front of Gonzalo's throne. 1 hour, 43 minutes, 8 seconds. A noose is dropped onto the stage from above. The cast force Gonzalo into the noose as he begins to curse in Italian, and in one place possibly Latin. The noose is drawn taut, and the cast drops Gonzalo. He begins to asphyxiate. 1 hour, 43 minutes, 32 seconds. Antonio speaks. With this, the tribute, in full, it is paid. The actor takes SCP-701-19-B, the dagger, and draws it across Gonzalo's stomach, spilling his intestines across the stage. 1 hour, 44 minutes, 4 seconds. Alinda takes the dagger from Antonio. She speaks. With this, fool's blood, it is the hanged king's. She cuts Antonio's throat. 1 hour, 45 minutes, 31 seconds. Ropes drop from the roof of the stage, a noose for each cast member. The cast assembles underneath them. Alinda takes position next to SCP-701-1. 1 hour, 46 minutes, 12 seconds. Alinda. With this, our blood, it is the hanged king's. The cast hang themselves. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 33 seconds. SCP-701-1 moves through the hanging corpses and to front center stage. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 41 seconds. The stage lights cut out. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 46 seconds. Sounds of screaming and physical violence around the camera. 1 hour, 48 minutes, 22 seconds. Loud sound, most likely the camera being knocked over. 1 hour, 49 minutes, 1 second. The camera is destroyed. Tape ends.
Yeah.
Everyone
like that
died.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
great.
that specifically, but
It's in the Heritage Collection for a reason.
that's that good spoops, man. That's that good spoops.
Yeah,
What is it?
that's a
that,
really great incident log. Like I like the way the tension like escalates very like gradually. It feels good, very natural.
Gonzalez deserves it. You have to pay a man his money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the. I wasn't here for the full thing, but I think 035 was referenced in there, right?
Maybe.
Or there's like some tale where there's a tale that I know that 035 is connected to this somehow.
It's either the Hanged King's Comedy or Metaphysician.
I was going to say that sounds like a Gabriel Jade thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think he did Hang King's Comedy, right?
Yeah.
Or was it?
I can ask him. Hold on. Yeah, I think so.
Gabe Cave hype.
Gabe needs to release something new.
Gabe needs to
Gabe needs to just be here in my arms.
Frankie,
I want to hug him.
Use it to make
Gabe
an
needs to join
Apollyon.
Gabe needs to join the stream. Someone call Gabe.
Absolutely.
All right.
Gabe!
Who are we
I'm
kicking
willing
off?
to go if Gabe wants to come on. Although I was going to read the thing at the bottom of my dreams, that or like Tufto's proposal.
Tufto's proposal is pretty solid. But I think we had more things queued up.
We got a whole list of requests, but that can easily be a request. We haven't had one from one of Kaiman's requests yet. The next one in line before Kaiman's request is 2508. 2508 is
2508.
If I cover my camera at any time, that means that my roommate just walked in and he doesn't.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
2508, The Long Wait.
I don't have titles, but I do have a picture of a house.
Yep, that's it.
Cool. Let's see how long this is. It goes down, and there's a description, and there's a 1 and a 2.
All of these other pictures.
It's housey.
Okay, May I take the opportunity, or?
Hit it, yeah.
All right. This document has no clearance requirements and is exempt from all security precautions by order of 057. Item number SCP-2508. Object class none. Special containment procedures. Due to its unusual nature, containment efforts for 2508 are to be focused on its upkeep, research regarding its origin and significance, and maintaining its routines. The current resident is to add their name to the logbook, along with their Foundation ID and occupation. SCP-2508 is to be -1 is to be filled every day at noon and should be inspected for cracks or leaks on a monthly basis, with repairs being made accordingly. The hatch in front of SCP-2508-2 is to be closed during bad weather and all of winter. SCP-2508 is to be kept in good condition. The archives are to be kept organized at all times. Please note that all necessities such as food and medication are restocked daily. Additionally, the current resident is to record any and all findings that come across regarding SCP-2508. They are also encouraged to catalog any other thoughts, experiences, and/or dreams they deem relevant. It is imperative that these records be concise. Incomplete data and fragments of information are also acceptable, including any knowledge pertaining to fields of study that may be useful to future residents. The current resident is to attempt to maintain a mental state of well-being. For more information on the subject, see the study. Finally, at all times, any up-to-date version of this document is to be kept within a laminated slot located on the table by the door. Description: SCP-2508 is a cottage-style house of indeterminate location, as well as 0.53 square kilometers of surrounding property. The house has 2 main floors, not including its 1 basement and attic. The manner in which SCP-2508 is discovered by any individual is always unintentional, and past residents have noted coming across the house at varying addresses in separate towns, different countries, and under widely dissimilar circumstances. Both SCP-2508's builders and original inhabitants, if it can be presumed there were any, are unknown at this time. Only one person is capable of being inside SCP-2508 at a time. As an individual enters, however, they will become incapable of leaving. The reason for this comes from the fact that as one exits the property of SCP-2508 on one end, they will find themselves arriving at the other end. This looping, or recursive, geographical space is what prevents escape from SCP-2508. At this point, the reader may be growing aware of the implication of what has just been described. It should be clarified that, as escape from 2508 is impossible, and SCP-2508 is not believed to have any real-world location, sending information to the outside world is not a possibility. Barring an unforeseen scenario, all material regarding SCP-2508, including this document, is contained within SCP-2508 itself. That's fucked. Therefore, if you are reading this document, you are now the current resident of SCP-2508. All of your duties to the Foundation of the outside world are unofficially null and void. The current working theory is that the Foundation at large has no knowledge of this place whatsoever. The information presented in this document has not been subject to review by the Foundation as a whole, but instead is the culmination of each individual Foundation member who has lived and died in the isolation of SCP-2508. Herein lies more unexplained characteristics of SCP-2508. All recorded past residents have been Foundation personnel of clearance level 1 or higher. The reason for this remains unclear, but research suggests that, judging from water levels of SCP-2508 when new residents arrive, if a resident of SCP-2508 dies, they were replaced by a new resident within the same day. Depending on your predecessor's cause of death, you may have some cleaning up to do. Cleaning supplies are in the upstairs bathroom. SCP-2508-1 is a wooden and metal pump-like device in the attic. The machine has a height of 1 meter and is affixed to the floor. Water put into the machine is pumped throughout the day to an unknown location via a series of 6 small PVC pipes that run from the bottom end of the machine to a small hole in the wall. If filled fully, SCP-2508-1 will drain in approximately 30 hours. A plaque built into the device contains the following written passage. Please fill this device once per day at noontime. We cannot arrive with as much haste if the machine runs dry. We hope you understand and trust that you will keep your side of the arrangement now that we have kept ours. Thank you. Failing to fill this machine as instructed appears to have degenerative effects on both SCP-2508 and the individual who lives there. Allowing the device to remain empty for a prolonged period of time is believed to be fatal. The previous editor, Dr. Orion, failed to provide an explanation for how this is fatal. I have left it here regardless, as it is important information. Dr. Oswald. Oh, no. It is advised you heed this instruction. SCP-2508-2 designates the patch of organic material in the basement. The material is of green coloration with small amounts of purple and red colors. It is not of any known species of plant. This material will photosynthesize if allowed sunlight through a hatch. Due to the structure of the basement, this hatch is placed slightly above ground level and will occasionally bloom with blue flowers. Some have reported hearing a static sound coming from the object, or a faint red glow coming off it in intermittent pulses. Translated from Morse code, these pulsations read, "Thanks for keeping the plants fed. Hit a snag in traffic. Might take a bit longer than expected." Like with SCP-2508-1, the hatch for SCP-2508-2 also has a plaque in it. This text has been provided below. Please keep this hatch open only in good weather. Please keep it closed for rain, snow, and the chill of winter. Thank you. The record archive in the study has proven to be the most efficient way for cataloging and compiling research for future residents. However, a miscellaneous section was also added at some point, exact date unknown, to record the thoughts of those trapped here. You may feel free to read up on your predecessors. Provided below is an example intended to prime you for your stay here. I was driving home when it happened. It was about a 30-minute commute through a lot of back roads, and I was terribly drunk. It's one of those XK scenario averted, let's celebrate occasions. So I didn't really hesitate to down my fair share of wine. When I arrived at my front porch, car excuse the front tires dug into the dirt on my front lawn, I stumbled for the door. After a great amount of fidgeting, I managed to get my key in the lock. I finally got the door to open. But then when I looked around, it wasn't my house at all. It was all its place. Dumbfounded, I went back outside. Surely I thought I had accidentally entered another home in my drunken stupor. Not even the outside was as expected. The urban environment shifted to countryside. My car was still there, sitting on asphalt road, which is now a dirt road. Everything was different, and it's never quite the same. That was all 23 years ago. No doubt my position as 05 was replaced long, long ago. Here I am, having found startlingly few answers. Every once in a while, I'll find an old shoe or a photograph of someone who came here before me. And I'm reminded how we all are all chained together in an oblivious, obligatory service to this place. Lately, the clouds keep rolling in. Plants in the basement are buzzing more than usual. I hear the gurgle of water draining through the pipes and the walls from that old dusty machine. Sometimes I try to find where that water goes. I think it goes out beyond the house, into the grassy field in front of the swing set. When I lay on the grass, sometimes, if I listen very closely and everything else is quiet, I swear I can hear noises coming from far below ground. They sound like some kind of clockwork mechanism, its gears quietly humming. I don't know what it means, and I don't think it ever will. Undoubtedly, the most puzzling thing about this place is really quite a small feature. There's a computer terminal in the study, and it looks like it's one of the oldest things in the house. It's clearly foundation, but it's unsettling, to say the least. We would have known about this if the foundation knew, I'm sure. But if that's truly the case, they still don't explain how the anomaly got its number designation. Is it arbitrary? Or it is actually cataloged in the outside world? I don't think it's possible to know from here. Sometimes I feel like I'm waiting for something, or for someone. It's not for someone to save me, but it's as if I'm waiting to meet someone here. I dream of what the meeting might be like, or why it might be in what it might be in the first place. But somewhere deep down, I know that I will almost certainly die here, and this long wait will be passed down to another, to continue waiting with bated breath for something. What exactly that is something we can't be sure of. Maybe someday I'll learn how to get how the food gets restocked. 057. God, this was a good piece.
Yeah, that pivot like in the middle was really good. I kind of... Sorry, go on. Okay. I kind of did a thing where I like scrolled up and down when it says, at this point, the reader may be growing aware of the implications of what has just been described. Because that's a very strange sentence to just be in the middle. It's really good.
God, this is so good.
This is
it's a very light format screw.
Yeah, this is
like it sneaks up on you.
Very.
Oh yeah.
I can actually
Do it.
illustrate this.
Fantastic.
I got an idea.
By my measure right now, our next request is going to be one of Kaiman's requests, which was either 1500 or 4098. Did you have a preference?
Yeah. To not do either of those, and to do one from a good friend of mine, article called
Oh,
Dr.
that
Michael's
one.
very good.
There was a ABS 42 for that one.
There is an ABS 42 for that. So for people who don't know, on Get Vocal, I do a weekly live stream show on Sunday nights, and it's called Anomalous Broadcast from Site-42. And I read an SCP, we discuss the article, but I think that was that the first episode or the second episode that we did Dr. Michael?
That was the second one. The first one you did Hippo's
the knife, the red knife.
What is it? Yeah, the knife, the red knife.
God,
But then the second one, the red knife is mimetic, and it makes you, or it's anti-mimetic. It makes you kill a bunch of people, but don't remember it, and they disappear from existence.
Yeah, it makes you remember it as a dream, if I remember correctly.
And then
That
is
No,
a different
no.
knife.
We have a lot of knives.
Yeah, that is a different
They're
one.
just a lot of them.
The SCP
Knives
cutlery
are cool.
drawer.
I should write a knife.
I am still up with doing Dr. Michael's anyways because it's a freaking good article and we should show it to more
It
people.
Luke just said
Thanks, Luke.
so many knives.
Also, guys, before we move on to the next article, which will be 4428, I just want to point out that we have broken $300 donated now. Woo!
Woo!
We are now at
Very nice.
$305.
I like that.
Oh, some really slick artists made it, and it was really cool, and they donated it to the stream, and they're really awesome. Fly that flag.
I didn't know if I could say this on stream. The reason why, if you pull that image back up again, the reason why it's all angular, something I did, yeah, because I felt bad if I made the lines all straight.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Oh, all right.
This is pride and puns.
That. All right. All
right. So with the highlights in this, I found it easiest for whoever wants to read it. I found it easier just to be talking, and to when I started reading, I said, for the purposes of this exercise, I will preface highlighted portions with the word highlight, and I will end them with end highlight. So like the series, the sentence, the information contained herein is highlighted, 100% accurate and readily communicable. End highlights. Through textual, pictorial, and I would continue like that just to bracket the parts that are important to see, but we can't see them when we're reading them. You know what I mean? Anyone feel like taking it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You cut out a little there.
Okay, so my explanation was just when I read it and all the highlighting confused me. Okay.
Yeah,
and then after that, I just said, does anybody want to read
go
this
ahead.
one particularly? Well, since I just got done brushing my teeth after eating, I'm ready to read, so I will do this one. You guys ready? Ooh, and then someone should interview somebody when we get to the interview. Does someone want to be Michaels or the interviewer?
I'll be the interviewer.
Sweet, I will get up to that point.
Let me just talk.
Two very good.
Actually, no.
Oh, nice. All right, SCP-4428, or otherwise known as Dr. Michaels. Notice from the Foundation Department of Miscommunications. The Department of Miscommunications is to handle all documentation and communications involving Dr. Michaels and follow a strict set of rules. These rules are impossible to state explicitly. However, we have designed this document in a way that heavily implies them. Signed, Eli Forkley, Director, Department of Miscommunications. Department of Miscommunications Notice. This file requires non-anomalous comprehensive inoculation. For the purposes of this document, portions that will highlight that are highlighted in blue will be listed bracketed with the words highlighted and not highlighted. Dr. Michaels is Dr. Michaels. Highlight. Dr. Michaels is not Dr. Michaels. And highlight. The Earth is round. Highlighted. The Earth is flat. And highlight. The sky is blue. Highlighted. The sky is green. And highlight. Inoculation complete. You may proceed. Communicability Index. For adherence to the Department of Miscommunications Personnel Code of Linguistic Integrity, the information contained herein is highlighted, 100% accurate and readily communicable, and highlighting through textual, pictorial, visual, audio, and subliminal means. Questionable personnel are to proceed to the Site-96 Medical Wing for the administration of Class A Veritants, and if necessary, subsequent administration of Class C amnestics. Item number. Dr. Michaels. Containment class. Highlighted. Safe. And highlighting. Special containment procedures. Highlighted. Dr. Michaels is not in danger. And highlighting. The personal well-being of Dr. Michaels is to be ensured. To this end, Dr. Michaels is kept at Site-96 and is not permitted to interact with personnel unless they are directly involved in his research and containment. The custodial team will follow Dr. Michaels throughout the day and sanitize the area after he leaves. No member of staff is permitted to discuss their duties or the situations surrounding them. Description. Dr. Jeremy Feldson Michaels is a non-anomalous human male of British Indian descent, currently employed as a Level 3 researcher at Site-96. Dr. Michaels is 33 years of age and has worked at the Foundation for 8 years. He is unmarried and an only child, with no immediate family aside from his parents. Addendum materials. Personal Safety Assessment Battery. Video log. Date, October 20th, 2019. Time, 800 hours 16 minutes, UTC. Forward. Dr. Michaels is an asset to the Foundation due to his competencies in the fields of linguistics and communications. The use of a Personal Safety Assessment Battery, or PSAB, is necessary to identify risks to his personal well-being. Designated personnel conducted the PSAB inside a locked containment chamber, highlighted, to identify issues with Dr. Michaels' mental health, and highlighting. Begin log. Note, a recent image of Dr. Michaels. Immediate surroundings redacted.
Okay, so just tell me your name, as is protocol, and we'll start. How does that sound?
Okay.
Perfect. Now, interviewer glances above Dr. Michaels' head and shifts in their seat. Sorry. So anyways, you checked in with the site psychiatrist yesterday. Now, this is meant to be a sort of follow-up to your visit. Can you tell me how it went?
Yes, well, I've been a bit foggy for the past little while now. You know how that is. We all get that way when we're
Could you
stationed
be
away
more
from our families,
specific?
right?
How does this fogginess manifest?
I can't get out of my head. Like something just won't let me go.
Do you know
And
roughly when
highlight.
this feeling began?
I would say right after 4428-3. Like,
Right. Okay. So you had a traumatic experience. So this particular D class was
and highlight.
part of your personnel research team. Am I correct in stating this? Who else was on the team?
Well, highlighted in no particular order and highlight. That would be Agent Rosewood, D4428-1, D4428-2, containment engineer, researcher.
I see. So, Jeremy, would you say these feelings are recurring?
Highlighted, no. And highlight, well, it comes and goes.
All right. Your file says your family has no history of traumatic experiences. Highlighted, except for your brother. End highlight. Do you have a brother, Jeremy? The doctor referred to highlighted him and highlighted as a stressor. Can you explain what happened to highlighted him and highlight?
Highlighted. Well, I couldn't tell you where he is now.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
To bring him up.
Highlighted. Your brother was a source of hostility towards you. End highlights.
Highlighted. But with him, it was more insidious than that. My parents took him in. My parents took him in when he was a kid, and we did get along fairly well. When we were after that, yeah.
And that's when he was hostile.
Highlighted. He wasn't confrontational. It was like he was a dead weight on all of us, but after all, the most attached to me.
The doctor
He wouldn't let me go.
Say you called highlighted him and highlight. What was it? You called highlighted him and highlight a parasite.
He tensed up and he tensed up. I wanted to be on my own. That's all. Highlighted. But when I was getting moved in, after last seeing him, he was just there. I was hundreds of miles away, but he was still there somehow. Highlight. I highlight we and highlight.
Gotcha. Now, Jeremy, what's your favorite color?
No, wait.
You sure?
We can just skip that one.
Actually, Dr. Michaels, you were here for the sewer backup, weren't you? Yeah, I highlighted recently End highlights. Got a report that they found the source of that, actually. One of the security personnel, they found a huge pipe burst in one of the abandoned sublevels. It's an absolute flood down there. Highlighted. Nobody is sure of the cause, though. End highlighted. It was about a week ago. They sent a task force down and lost one in the muck. They came back to look for them as if they were incapacitated. They were fine, but they moved too slowly. Task force said they felt fogginess too. You did.
Did they know?
Indeed.
All right. Final notes. Researcher's note. Take myself per document. Highlight. Don't please, if you're reading this and you understand, highlighted that nothing is wrong. This keep up. Someone might slip up, and I can't. Or my fellow personnel. Miracle that they've been able. You need some way to figure this all out. Dr. Dix.
Woo, researcher Michael. Dr. Michael, so good.
Dr. Michaels.
Yeah. Mine houses.
It relies very heavily on implicit information.
This is the first version on the computer.
It's
Floppy,
it's
you
definitely a good
wanna
one.
Floppy, you want to give Light some help over here in the chat? Be like, what's up? This is kind of an idea. I know Henzoid did a did a declassified on it, but I didn't get to see it yet.
There's a D class on it now? Yeah, cool. I might need to watch that because I kind of have an idea of what's happening.
Yeah, the farthest I could get.
Nah, it's fine. I'll figure it out. Yeah, Floppy and Hensoy did an amazing job, like getting this together. It's a quality, just wow.
Floppy, you are probably right. That's probably a lot to say for with like a very small chat window. But there is a declassified out there. We can take the time later to check that out. In the meantime, we should decide on where we want to go next in the documents. And so... Oh, well, I was going to say, right now we're rotating through... Taylor's out, but we can still do his second request if we feel like it. Kaiman and Light still have a couple quests on hand, and Rock Teeth does not have one on hand. So
I could put one on hand, but it's in the one I'm looking at is insanely long. Like there's 7 tabs to it, and one of them is just nonsense.
oh my, oh fun.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to suggest Project Nowhere, but that's probably out of the there's a lot. Nowhere is good though. Read it. If anything, I'll just read the title. It's SCP-4239 or KT-6561 Black or Dolphin Slug Chugger and Scarhaver's God-1 proposal or 8008132 or Our Friend Who Lives by the Lake or The Lake or A Very Important Question or The Reason We Did Something New This Time or Go Big or Go Home.
I pretty much almost referenced that with like 3721 simply because I could not find like a good name for it. So I just decided, fuck it, I'll just put all the titles. And then I decided I didn't want to do that.
Good story. Definitely read it. I don't know if it's fit for the stream, though.
Yeah.
It's super
long.
Great question.
3448.
What's your all-time favorite
3448.
SCP?
Oh, Afterlife is fantastic.
2048?
You know what? I
Is that
like
you
this
just
line
said?
of discussion. What I want to do is we do have to
34
switch
for you.
to shift. What is it now? Shift 8.
Shift 8, yeah.
We're gonna move on to shift 8, and then we're gonna bring that question up again. And I like this little circle of discussion idea because it hasn't come up today. So let's for everybody in the YouTube, we're moving on to the Site 8 live stream or Shift 8 live stream. So we're gonna decommission for 5 minutes to change rooms. Come back up. The live stream will refresh. You'll have to refresh the Site-42 channel and join the Shift 8. For us guys in Get Vocal, we will just have to leave this room. The Shift 8 will pop up and we will join it. And remember to donate to the SF LGBT Center in the GoFundMe links that we're posting everywhere. And share the stream so people come watch it. We're more than halfway done with a 24-hour live stream. Hot diggity damn. And now we're going to go into Shift 8. See you guys in the next 5 minutes.